All right, there it is.
Here we are.
We're up and live. What's going, dude?
Hi, we are the Marriage Misfits, and I am Deb.
And my name's Kenny.
And we're the Joneses.
We're the Joneses. And so, hey, last week on Friday we said we were going to take a break over the weekend.
Yep, and we did.
A much needed break.
Yeah.
And spend some time with the kids, family, talk about, we had a lot of good feedback about Marriage Misfits. And so, what we've decided to do, what we've come up with is we're going to post, we didn't feel like we were giving enough of the topics time.
Yeah, most definitely.
And energy.
Yeah.
And so, Deb and I kind of thought, like, okay, well, what if we just did one topic a week? And then throughout the week, she and I, either together or individually, could kind of post some quickies. So,
you just wanted to say that word.
I did, because it's kind of fitting for what we're going to talk about today. So that's going to come, we're going to roll with that format. So on every Monday around 1:03, we'll post a new video with the new topic for the week. It'll kind of be longer probably because we'll put a little bit of time, effort, and energy into, putting it and posting it and maybe some live stuff. And then throughout the week, we'll just post some quickies. I said it again.
You did. You love saying that word.
I know. So bad.
Where a man's head goes when you say quickie.
Easy. We're gonna leave that one alone. So welcome. This week, a topic that's come up in our house. Funny.
Well, I'm going to talk about in our house, but between you and I,
Sure.
in our relationship, yes, the big word, sex,
Yes.
has come up.
Yes.
Yes, it has.
So, with us being sheltered in place, and we're gonna use the big word quarantine. I don't have a hat on today.
No, you don't.
That's interesting.
But you look really sexy with your hat on. You look really good. You look good.
I should have powdered it. This week we're gonna focus on sex in quarantine.
Yes, sex in quarantine.
And so some tips, some best practices, because we've been sheltered in place.
You're about to say we've been doing it for a long time, which we've been married for a long time.
We got
we
five
have
biological kids, so we kind of
I think we know what we're doing.
We sort of keep practice. Practice makes perfect.
Yes,
so
practice makes perfect.
So what we wanted to do was, talk about sex in quarantine. And, it's funny, like, Deb and I, we're, like, almost, I'm not. That's not true. But Deborah is, like, this homeschooling parent now.
Yes, I am.
So, with us, like, today, all of our kids had their Chromebooks out.
I had them at the table on time. They had all their stuff.
And it's become, like, okay, so it's, like, 7th grade math. Like, wait, what? I don't know how to do that crap. And also trying to, like, go back to, like, writing papers, Like, it's funny, our kids want to read.
Yeah, they don't mind reading, which is pretty awesome, I say.
It's great.
But it's now writing. I would say the only one who's really having an issue is Makai. Our 7th grader boy. Yeah. That is, he ain't down.
Yeah. So, that's another episode of, like, what do you do when your kids don't want to do what you're telling them to do? We'll wait for that one. But so, in trying to help him, write a good paper for a 7th grader. Yeah. So we went, like, old school, and we were like, okay, you got to answer these questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and then how. So Deb and I, because of that, thought, we'll just talk about sex in quarantine, and we'll just answer all those questions.
Makes sense to me.
So, get ready. Sex in quarantine, the 5 W's, and how we can have great sex, amazing sex, while we're under quarantine.
Yes, and we're adults, right? So we can say the word sex.
Sex.
Yeah, sex.
Hey, everyone take time out. Ready? So when you see this video, if you're watching live, just on the count of 3, just say sex. 1, 2, 3.
Sex.
Okay.
There we go. It's done and over with.
Right on.
Okay, now we can move on.
So let's get into the meat. So the first one is who, which is it should be super obvious.
The one that's right next to you in bed every night. Yes.
So the one you went to that chapel or that awesome, beautiful space, county courtroom, house, whatever, whoever you went to and have a piece of paper.
Put a ring on it.
That's right. Finger you put a ring on.
That's right.
That's the person who you should be having sex with.
That's right. In quarantine, to be safe of every other kind of stuff going around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody else.
So
this is kind of Marriage Misfits. We are talking primarily to married couples.
Yes.
If you're single, you can tune in to get some tips for later on. But for married people, the who is your spouse.
Yes.
So that's it. Like Roberto Duran, no mas, no more. So that was easy. That was the easy one.
Whew. Okay, done with that one. Okay, done with the who.
Who what?
Okay, what? What is it? What can we expect of each other?
What is probably the communication?
Yeah, we have to communicate what we want. Yes.
When we want it.
So with communication, with the what, it's like, all right, I want it this many times a day or a week.
Too old.
This is my expectation, right? Because, I'm next to you all the time and I'm feeling a little extra happy around you. And so, I think it's important. We think it's important. It is important to talk to your spouse about, hey, I would like to have, and come to a talking space of, not around kids. I think if kids would hear this conversation,
they'd be grossed out.
Yeah, you might want to go to your room, maybe when they're in bed or something like that. But
in a closet.
Yeah. Do it. Well, talk about it and do it. Same time going to. But make sure you're on the same page. That you both are in agreement. This is good, and maybe one would want more than the other one, right? Because that happens quite a bit, right? We've had many conversations with married couples, and one of you is like, come on, every day, twice a day, The other one's like, once a week, every other week, So this time, to make each other just a little bit more happy, maybe it'd be good to be on the same page and maybe give a little, or,
Yeah. I mean, and this isn't, like, again, most of you guys know Deb and I, we love Jesus, and so we just believe that our bodies aren't ourselves, and so in a time like this, on
our own,
yes. So and so we give, we honor each other, we respect each other, and we give, unselfishly to each other, and so and that's just not a Christian thing. I think it's just it's a human thing, to be unselfish, especially in the context of marriage. And so we just believe that in times where you don't, and Deb will talk about this throughout the week, but so will I. In times where you don't want to, and your spouse is kind of fiending, is a 90s word we would use, for a little bit of attention, then how do you kind of like, okay, yes, and not only yes, but I'm gonna enjoy this and engage in it. And
I'm gonna be all in.
All in. So the what is like communicate, being on the same page.
Yeah.
Communicating exactly what you want, so that it relieves some of the tension, conflicts, and the guessing game.
Oh, because we're not mind readers, right?
No.
Like we can't think of like setting up certain scenarios and then nothing happens and the other person gets frustrated and you're like, I thought you were showing me the signs, and you're like, wait, what? No, I was just throwing pasta across my back, or I was just taking some whipped cream in my mouth, like it wasn't anything, so I was just hungry.
And the other person's going, ooh,
right? Like, oh, there's the sign, And so just to make sure that we're on the same page is very important.
Yeah. Because there have been seasons in our marriage where, again, it's been like, the guessing game. So, you get in bed and like I'll even just own it. Like for me, it's like, okay, tonight's the night. And Deb, she climbs into bed and, she puts her, pillow under her feet and her little goggles, her little sleeping goggles on.
Not goggles.
Whatever they are. Their mask on. And, then I like pout for like 2 hours,
But he doesn't ask.
And I wouldn't ask.
If he asked me, I would more likely say, all right.
Yeah.
So
that's the what.
Yes.
So communicate, be on the same page. What do you want? Communicate that to your spouse.
Yeah, very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
The when.
When.
So It is funny. I think all this is funny. So the win would be kind of this. And it's a win. Every time you have a sex, it's a win.
Yeah, W-I-N. That's right.
Mm-hmm. But when, W-H-E-N,
yes.
is, so again, it just depends on, like, where you're at, what stage of life you're at. So Deb and I were talking about, you know, like, you could be, like, a newly married couple, like Abby, you know, she wrote in last week and, you know, brought me to tears. But, you know, newly married, you're the only people in the house, quarantined.
Hey, game on.
It's rabbit season, you know
right?
what I'm saying?
It's like lovey-dovey fest.
And then that's if you're young. Or maybe there's empty nesters, you know, and there's kids, they didn't come back from college. They're actually out living lives, married and stuff like that, having their own kids. You're an empty nester, and so maybe it's not
game on, right?
Well, sort of. Maybe you don't have the energy anymore. But the win could be whenever you want.
Yeah.
And that goes back to communication as well. But the win is easy for, I think, those two groups. Some of us other people find ourselves in different places where, like in our house, we have, like I said, 9 people living here.
9 people.
And
we're never alone.
The win is tricky.
Very.
It's tricky. So again, communicating like when, or maybe some like, you know, it's like, I don't like baseball too much, but you know, you can make signs, you know, to communicate like, you know, when it's like, you know, and that's a signal, you know, would go to the when, you know, and so I don't know, you just have to figure out like when. And I would say this too.
Or just yell out a time.
Be intentional about it.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
4 o'clock. And nobody knows what 4 o'clock is except you and your spouse. You're like, I don't know what 4 o'clock means. All right, let's go.
Yeah. So be intentional about, you know, setting something up. And then again, like we said last week, have grace if it doesn't work, if it falls through. Because again, you know, some of you may have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids.
We have 9 people in our house.
We have 9 people in our house. So we have to be a little bit flexible, but be intentional about it.
Yeah.
And then give people, you know, give each other grace and going, okay, we can't. 5 o'clock, you know, and then just set up a different time.
Yeah, try maybe in that moment if possible, like, hey, I can't right now because obviously, and this just occurred with this child, with this person, and what about later?
Yeah.
And you can name it for time or whatever, but just be like intentional about saying what is, because that other person on the other side is going, oh, you know, like so looking forward to the build up, the excitement. They're like, oh yes, time to really go.
4 o'clock, can't wait.
Yes, it's 3:59. I'm ready, you know, and I'm all prepared, and then you get so deflated. Oh my gosh, so. Not to be completely deflated and then get irritated and frustrated and walls go up. Yeah, let's set our partner up to...
set each other up.
Yeah, set each other up. But the partner got deflated.
Yeah.
That it's going to happen. Yeah. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying leave me alone. It's a real thing. You see it's a real thing. Right. So give me grace in that thing. Yeah.
Because you got to go and handle some kid business, like if you
most likely,
if you have,
or mom and grandma business on my end also.
Little toddlers, you know, they have diarrhea because you've been feeding them the same food and it got old or something. And there's crap all over the floor. I don't know.
Ew.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios that
tons of scenarios. Where, again, you be intentional but be flexible.
That's right.
But make sure you set up times because. It's super important. And we'll get to that a little bit later on.
Yes.
But that's the what, that's the who, that's the what, that's the when. Where?
Okay, where? Now this is exciting.
Creative. Especially in our house.
Because in sex, you can have sex as a married couple in your own home. You can have sex anywhere you want to.
And I would say this too.
Exciting.
For those two groups, the newlywed couples that are young and stuff like that, like nobody else.
Shoot.
Like,
man, we can name off some. Maybe that's not appropriate right now. But you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Just make sure you have good, like, sanitary practices.
Yes,
like,
yes.
So wipe down surfaces and all that.
That's right. Wipe down each other before. Make sure everything's all kosher.
Right, because, you know, we may want to come over and, you know, just be clean.
Not right now.
Not right
now. Or in that moment.
But and the older empty nester and more mature. I don't want to say older, but, you know, it's like, she's approaching 50, you know, so... No,
you're a year before me.
But we want to make sure that you guys, it's like wherever you want to, which is awesome. Deb and I actually, we want to be you. We are very envious of you.
There will be a day that we will be you. But it's not today. Today we have 9 people.
Yes.
Which is, we have 4 children at home. We have my parents, and we have my grandmother, and then there's us.
Yes.
And so,
and a dog.
And a dog.
And a bird.
And a bird. And
Oh my
so, you know, it's the where is where can we?
Sure.
It's not even just what time.
It's not when. It's just not what. It's not when.
It's like we're on the same page, but oh my gosh, you know. So
Be
where?
creative.
Yeah, we have to be super creative. It's like, oh my gosh, oh, we want to, but there's no space, you know. Every space is taken.
It's like, hey everyone, why don't you come into the living room and watch this movie? Mom and I are gonna go
Lock the door.
do laundry.
No, we like to say
We're gonna
have a talk.
We're gonna have a talk.
That, you know, we're gonna talk.
Serious talk.
Serious talk. And so,
We used
you know,
to say,
our kids know, or older kids know. Maybe still not so much, but they pretty much know, but they're not sure, because sometimes we do have serious talks and
Sure.
nothing is occurring.
Sure.
Very rare, they don't know that. But, you know, you have to, like, find that space, you know, and
Right.
we are in this new quarantine. Well, everybody is, right? But with 9 people living in one home, trying to just find that space.
Yes.
And it's not just the bed or the bedroom, because it's just not possible.
well, and the problem, they get it. I mean, let's just be honest, they get it. So when we go, hey, we're gonna go and have a serious talk, and you have to make that face too. We're
Yeah.
gonna go and have a
Serious
serious
talk.
talk, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we lock the door and we turn on, you know, like Blackstreet. They already know.
Johnny Swim. What?
They already know. So there was we were researching this. And there was a guy who was like, you know, hey, you know, make sure it happens. You know, throw shoes in a dryer because it makes a lot of noise.
Our thumb is like way in the back. It won't
doesn't
work.
work for
You
us.
just put maybe like some other kind of music. I don't know. Music
It's
that
not
you
gonna
won't.
work.
I don't know.
If you have
Anyways.
older kids, you know, and so if you have younger kids though too, it's like, you know, it's simple to me. It's not. It used to be when they sleep, you sleep, right? Now it should be when they sleep, you have sex,
Yeah.
and then you sleep,
Yes. Completely.
right? Because the sex.
And when
may-
you have
may
older
be tired.
kids, it's harder too, because they stay up
forever.
you know, and so they're like 10:30, 11:30, not on school nights, of course, right? But it's like, gosh dang.
Go to bed.
You know, everybody just go to bed. You know, like, we're gonna go to bed, and they're like, oh, you know, and they're vomiting in their mouth, you know. And so we have to like really figure out, you know, where and what that looks like, and it had to be intentional. We have
Sure.
to like take time to really talk about it. Can't be like a flip it kind of conversation,
Sure,
because
intentional.
it needs to happen.
So it could be like this. It's like Clue. You know, it's like me and you in the closet at 3:00.
That's it.
It could be that simple.
That simple.
Be creative.
Yeah.
Closets.
Yeah, put a doorstop underneath if you don't have like a lock on it,
Yep.
you know?
Closets.
Mm-hmm.
Bedrooms.
Yeah. Bathrooms.
Laundry rooms.
Laundry rooms.
Bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Those are safe places with doors
Yeah.
that you could make this happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So again, where? Where is super important, because you got to like make sure that where is a place that it can have happen.
I would even say this. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna
Oh.
go there.
Where are you gonna go?
It's kind of cold right now, so outdoor spaces. I don't know if you're adventurous, but outdoor spaces too. I don't know. You can try that out. Look at
Is that against the law still?
I don't
Even
know.
if it's in your own home and under quarantine.
Cover up. Cover up.
I don't want the neighbors to see anything.
I know.
A little shade, little curtain.
The other thing too, we talked about this earlier. The other thing is too, at night, go for a drive. You can in your car.
That's just against the law to go drive and have
Is
sex.
it?
Yes, it is.
Well,
It's
check
called
the laws
it's
in your
indecency.
area.
In
Check the
every
laws
law, in
in
every
your
area.
area, make
Don't do
sure.
that. But in your home, under quarantine, we got to find the where. We
Okay.
have to find the where.
Well, what if you just go in your own driveway?
That's what I'm saying. You got to do the curtains around inside
No,
the
the
car.
part in the car. Curtains in the car. Okay.
Okay.
You
Anyways,
figure it out.
You
Be
figure it
creative.
out. Yeah.
What else?
The why.
So who, what, when, where, why?
Why?
Deb, why?
Why? Why should we have sex
In quarantine.
in quarantine?
'Cause it's
We should have
fun.
sex all the time anyways, because this sure was fun. Well, we should do it because actually it's healthy for our bodies.
Very healthy.
It is a proven fact that the more that you have sex, the more adrenaline gets released in your body, and you're actually in a better mood. You're happier. So you actually, after like 3 days later, you actually are still on this like, I'm a happy person kind of thing. And not only are you a happy person, that if you struggle with anxiety and depression and tension, that it actually sends endorphins for that as well, that actually counteract that. So your headaches, they're gone. Just have sex.
I know.
Your anxiety, just have sex.
And so it should, I mean, it's not the cure-all.
No, it's not the
saying
cure-all.
that.
No, I'm not saying that.
But we're saying that when, like the whole physics and the biological stuff about
how our body's
having
created.
sex and how it works is like when you do have sex and you're aroused, all the chemicals that are released, they help fight off, like Deb said, like tension and anxiety.
Yeah.
Like it calms you. Like, hey, raise your hand if you're agreeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it has those kind of magical, scientific values to it. And so in a time like this, again, like for our house, and I can only speak for our house, where we got 9 people up in here.
A lot of people.
There's a little bit of tension that takes place. And so
every day.
Every single day. And it's probably you too. Like, I'm pretty, people are talking about, stir crazy, cabin fever. Have sex.
Yeah.
Let those natural, chemicals be released.
Yes.
It brings down the tension. And I'm telling you, like, try it. You might like it. So,
yes.
So that's kind of the why.
And,
it's beneficial.
More often is better for you.
Yeah.
So the more often you have it, the better effects it's going to have on your body. And we can go into detail of all of that.
Sure.
In another podcast. But this, just to blanket it for you, is that it's a good thing.
Good things.
Yeah.
So, and again,
do a lot of it as much as you
good.
can. You want to be healthy as you can to quarantine and not feel stir crazy and not be moody and headaches and anxiety with fear and worry. Sex is just a natural thing that just comes in and saves the day a little bit. And it even, like with cortisone levels, it actually counteracts that. So if you're like even trying to be healthy and want to have good body shape, and it does burn some calories, but it also helps fight your body holding on to fat.
So
what do you think about that?
I love it.
I love it too.
I should probably have a ton of sex.
Don't
go there. Don't go there. The other why too, other than the biology and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's funny because we have this, this social distancing, which we don't like to say because it's physical distancing. We want to continue to stay connected, and we do that socially, but just through different platforms and the technology. But the physical distancing is kind of wearing, and so not with your partner, not with your spouse. Be close. Find that time to be intimate. Like that, and again, it's beneficial for you. It has, I'm telling you, it's magical powers that take place when you can connect and be united in this type of way.
And with that as well is that just when you're around the house during the day, what can lead up to this beautiful sex thing with your partner is just a lot of touch. Just do a lot of touch during the day, and it helps stimulate your body and your pleasure spots, and just prepares you for what's ahead. Yeah. And so I would say touch each other's skin throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll talk about intimacy, later on in a different, episode. But the sex and quarantine. And so we're gonna wrap it up with the how.
How.
How do we do this? And how we're like, okay, where is kind of like the how, and so how we want to is like the details in being creative.
Yeah. How do you want to set it up? Like, I know most ladies, you want it to look nice and be nice and
smell nice.
And so there's candles. There's, is it mood, the mood of the lighting? Is it, what is going on? There's chocolate involved? There's some wine involved? Or like what will help you be in this beautiful mood with each other? What will help you to stay captivated with your partner? Is it music? Is it, different places have different smells and different textures, so what do you want it to be?
Yeah.
And to be super intentional about the details, because that matters as well.
Yeah, and that's something you guys can talk about as couples, like what kind of music. Like the fun thing is maybe put a playlist together of like when you do have the time, and you have this space, and you can set the mood. And it's not like, okay, we're going to go in the closet and have a quickie. It's like, no, we're going to be super intentional. We have this time. We have the opportunity to set the mood, to set the space, to really do the how, and really focus on the details. You can get together and you go, okay, baby, tonight we're going to, we got it, right? It's going to happen. Like, let's put a playlist together. What do you like? So it's just fun things like that as well. Candles, chocolate, wine, new sheets. Whew, there ain't nothing more better than new sheets. Brand new, fresh, clean sheets. Oh, telling you, all the time, every day.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So,
and again, every couple and I would say ladies seem to be more about the details than guys are.
We don't care.
So set it up. Don't wait for your partner to set it up for you. If you want it, lay it out. Yep, get it all ready, have it all put together, and bring it to the table. Well, you can.
That's gross.
Depending on who you are.
Just make sure you clean it off.
Before and after. Yeah. Anyways, all right.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so we didn't cover everything, but we covered a lot. So the who, what, when, where, why, and then the how of having sex in quarantine. And this week, what we're gonna do is, it was so funny. We had to kind of talk through this. So we're gonna be dropping like tips and some other reminders about having sex under quarantine throughout this whole week. So we'll post. It's funny to even say pictures. We're gonna we're just gonna communicate to you.
Communicate through pictures.
What
our
best practices and stuff like that. Are so just to help you, to help us, to help you. And if you can join the conversation. If this is helpful to you, share it. Like it. Deb and I just again, we've been married for 25, almost 26 years this year. Together for 27, and we've had some successes and some failures, some good, some bad, and so
we've learned a lot along the way.
We've learned a lot, and so this again, it's just an opportunity for us to kind of sit and to share with you, and if you think that it's meaningful, share it with somebody else.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
I think that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Everybody, have great sex. Enjoy sex.
While you're in quarantine.
Make sex happen.
Right on.
It's happy for you.
Right on.
It's happy. It'll make you happy for you.
Love you guys. Catch us through this week. And then next Monday, we'll have a new episode coming straight to you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.